the voice inside our heads. Most times it terrifies us. The voice never shuts up. It never stops. Not for a single minute. It just keeps going and going. Every single time we wake up, the voice starts. And you may think, what voice are you talking about? Well, the exact voice that just questioned what I said. This voice that said, what are you talking about inside your head? This is the voice that I'm talking about. It never stops. You can go anywhere you want, do anything you want, and this voice will question every single move that you make. It's going to comment on everything that you do. It's like a bystander. It's like a personality of its own. If you would give it a body and a face, then it would be a person. And this person is most likely not you. This person is quite different to you. Because this internal dialogue or monologue, whatever you want to call it, that's happening inside your head, if you were to verbalize it 24/7, actually speak what's on your mind, then most people that know you would run away as far as they can, because sometimes your internal thoughts are bizarre. Sometimes they're crazy. Like, you may think things that you would never do, never even think of doing. You know, there's intrusive thoughts that you get. So I try to come up with ways to think of how this internal voice is actually helping us. And I couldn't come up with any scenarios where this voice was actually a beneficial thing for me. And most of us run away from this voice. This is the main reason for all of the distractions that we have in today's world. This is the main reason everyone wants to watch TV when they get back home and watch Netflix, scroll on their phones, play video games, do anything but sit alone with their thoughts. If you like your thoughts so much, then why don't you sit alone with your thoughts and keep having an internal conversation with yourself? Then why do you keep on going to get distracted? Well, I failed to see a need for this voice. And the more I looked into it, I discovered some commonalities. This is why people meditate, right? When people sit down and say, clear your mind from all thoughts that you have. Like, the whole idea of meditation is to clear your mind from every single thought that you have, because obviously it's beneficial for you. So if clearing your mind from every single thought is good for you, like while meditating, then the thoughts must be bad for you. Like this internal voice, it must be bad for you. It's just logical thinking. So I try to come up with ways of destroying this internal voice, because it's a distraction. If it's questioning everything that we see, if it's commenting on everything that we do, because our eyes can already see everything. We already process all of our surroundings with our senses. We see, we hear, we touch, we smell, and this goes in and we basically take it in. So what is the reason for us to constantly verbalize it internally and confirm it to ourselves? Sometimes it makes you more comfortable with your surroundings, makes you more in tune with your surroundings, but I think it's just a distraction. I think it's just a way of you trying to get more dopamine in your head by having a conversation with yourself, to distract yourself. There's no right or wrong in this conversation that I'm having with you right now. We don't have a textbook of how to navigate life. We don't have a section in the book of life that says, oh, the internal voice, what you do with your internal voice. You know, we don't have a section like that. So it's just pretty much introspection of how this voice works. And I'm genuinely curious to hear your opinions of how this voice treats you, and what kind of relationship do you have with this internal voice? My opinion is that this voice should be dimmed most times. Every single time that you have an opportunity to turn off this voice, you should. And I couldn't come up with any other better way than meditation, than practicing mindfulness, practicing the interception of every single thought that comes into your brain and simply acknowledging it, not thinking much of it, not going into a deeper conversation with your internal self, but just simply recognizing that a thought comes and letting it pass. Because most of these thoughts, they're just distractions, they're insignificant to our lives. Think about it. If you were to do every single thing that your thoughts tell you, this internal voice, if you were to do every single thing that this internal voice tells you, you'd probably not be alive. So why does it exist? Where did it come from?